Hi everyone, welcome back. Sorry about the mess here. I'm doing some product photography stuff here. So this is a question from Simon. We actually just fixed his one, and at the same time that we did that, I fixed my one here. And this is a common issue with a lot of stabilizers, so I figured I'd make a video about it. This is the issue of when this thing is balanced fine, so you balance it and this thing stays in place, but that direction doesn't. Now that doesn't make sense when you're balancing it. When that happens, it doesn't make sense why that happens, because the same adjustment of moving the camera up and down, so this adjustment, should adjust both of those things together. You shouldn't have this issue of when you get this thing perfect, but this still isn't working for you. So this would still be bouncing back when you let go. So why would it be doing that? The issue is it's drooping. Something here isn't tight enough, or is misaligned, or is badly manufactured, or any bunch of reasons. It's drooping, right? So something here, the camera is too low compared to this. So it's like that. So to fix that, you want to find where that's happening. The simplest solution a lot of the time is that you just didn't tighten this enough, or you didn't tighten this enough, or something like that. So that's why when I balance any sort of gimbal, it's always, I make the adjustment as I think, I lock everything down 100% super tight, and when I lock things down, I hold onto the gimbal. I sort of hold it tight with one hand and then lock it down, because you're going to get that tighter. So that, for a lot of you, that's going to immediately fix the issue of this thing bouncing back while this thing is perfectly balanced, but in that direction, it's bouncing back when you let it go, rather than just staying in whatever position you left it in. The other potential issue is that it's simply not manufactured very well. For example, here with Birdicam, I've had to add a little piece of metal to fix that issue. And, because it didn't seem like anything else I could do here would do that. But this was actually a fairly easy fix on this one. Of course, any sort of modification might void your warranty or break your camera, so do that at your own risk. But on this one, in this example, I needed to make this thing not droop, because this thing just wasn't holding it tight enough. No matter how tight I tried to make it, it wasn't holding it tight enough. So I needed something between this quick release and this. Let me bring you guys closer. So here I needed something between this connection and this connection to prevent it from drooping slightly. So it was connected there, but it was drooping. So I needed something, so I just bent a little piece of metal. This is from like a toy thing I got at the pound store. So I put that there, I just bent it with pliers to shape and put that there. And then I made sure that what I did wasn't going to cause this thing to fall and break something. But here, what that does is that fits like that. And then when I tighten it, it doesn't droop anymore. It's it's preventing it from tilting too much. So then other potential things that could be causing this is, for example, on the Came TV unit, which instead of this metal piece right here, there is a pole. It's a round pole made of carbon fiber, or sometimes metal. So that pole is held here by a clamp. And that clamp, it can move out of place. So the pole can turn. So you can literally, there's 4 little screws on there, on the Came TV model, 4 little screws right there and there. And you just undo those a little bit, and then you lift this up. You want to bring the camera up higher compared to this. So if you've got that issue, your camera is too low, but this adjustment won't do the trick. So you need to basically find what's drooping. If it's drooping here, or if it's drooping at the top here. Let me show you guys the top. Okay, so you guys are watching this line right here, this connection, and you're going to see that when I loosen this, that is going to bend slightly. Okay, so you see now this is not fully tight. That right there is slightly bent, which means the camera is slightly bent. And then if I tighten this right now, that's not going to fix the issue. What I have to do is, you see that? There's movement there between this piece and this piece. The solution here is to literally push it in with my hand. So you can see that. I'm pushing it with my hand, pushing this forward, basically raising the camera up, and then tightening it as tight as possible. And that is now bringing it back to being held straight. Over here, another place where that would happen is, you know, this thing, you tighten it with your fingers, but that doesn't do the trick. So sometimes you don't need to actually add a piece of metal. You just need to hold this so that it's held in the correct position and not drooping. And basically I'm lifting with this hand, lifting upwards like that, and then locking that in place to make sure that it's locking fully straight. And exact same thing over here. Sometimes that's not locked correctly. So once again, it would be holding it really tight, holding it in place, and then locking that fully. And once again, you should be locking everything down and then testing the balance. And if something is off, you move, you know, make the adjustment and lock it back 100% tight again before you even bother testing. Because of that potential movement there, there's no point testing anything like that. There's no point looking at that until they're all tight. Or I mean, when you're doing the really fine adjustments. So hopefully that was useful to you guys. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask me in the comments below. And you can watch my tutorials on my channel. There's a stabilizers playlist. There's lots of various stuff on there that might be helpful. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.